They trimmed it recently, so most of it didn't get caught up in the weeds like it usually does. It just flew down into the river and into the blackberries. Picked up the garbage along here. There wasn't a whole heck of a lot though. There's let's see, some folks fishing, and of course, probably ain't nice to make them fish in a shit pit. So I picked up the beer bottles down here, or beer cans or whatever. We got most of the trash picked up, and I'll set the cans to the side, hoping somebody else will pick them up, because I'm not really okay with picking up the alcoholic beverage stuff. I'm hoping that because it's in a bag, they'll recognize that it's for recycling and not for my personal consumption. Oh, there's another piece of trash. Because I quit drinking over 2 decades ago now. Picking up the trash helps us all out. Helps to make the place look better. Oh, another can squished. I'm not sure if they take those here. They might take squished cans here. But it looks to me like every time people take in cans, they're not crushed. I don't know why they don't crush them. Maybe it's some special stipulation with their machines or something. I don't know. There's a little bit of trash right there and some up there, but really this ain't the area I usually clean up. Here's a little map of the area. You are here, Port of Hood River. But they got hotel staff that work here. They're supposed to keep this stuff cleaned up. So I let them do their jobs. There's some more. I can see it pretty clearly, but for some odd reason my camera zooms it all out real weird. Hello? Of course, then there's that thing. Oh my god. Alright, first of all, someone who thinks they're tough. Second of all, like we need Viagra. Alright, let's move on. Something functional to get me to where I need to go and back is just fine. I need to show off my testosterone. Alright. Getting some more picked up here. Inch by inch, it's all a cinch. Many hands make for light work. I'd say that's probably the most important one out here that people overlook. If we work together, we get a lot more out of it. Many hands make for light work. That means if we work together, we get a lot more out of it. I'll give you the example of setting up roof trusses. Alright, so these things are heavy. Usually you need either an A-frame or a crane in order to lift the things. If you got to do it by yourself, and you got to repeatedly tie off, which you're going to have to, it's about 10 times as much work for one person to put one of those roofing trusses up. It's about 3 times as much work just to do the framing by yourself. It takes twice as long to measure by yourself, and that's if you're fast. So, yeah, things get a lot easier when you have help. My predators had help. I had people giving me pretty words and pretty memes and giving me excuses why they couldn't tell the truth. Oh, people are threatening me, Sean. People are threatening my kids. I know. And rather than being a little bitch about it, I'm going to speak out. And I do. Now, one of the things with these idiots is if you're gonna accuse me of something, come out and do it in public. You can do it in public. If you can't do it in court, you can't speak out in court, that's on you. I don't mind taking out the trash. If that includes you, so be it. That's your decision, not mine. I don't choose for you to be cruel or mean or rude or inconsiderate. I don't choose for you to be selfish, and I don't choose for you to make excuses. That's all on you. Now, if you're going to make those excuses, and the cops are going to say something completely the opposite, and I'm being victimized over what the cops said, and you know that I'm being victimized over what the cops said, you know that it's not true, and you're willing to allow me and others to be victimized over this. Well, no, you're not a friend. You're a special kind of stupid. You expect me to understand. I have to understand. And there are so many parents, this is their excuse. Oh, I have kids. No, fuck you. That is the worst excuse ever. People are fucking threatening your kids. You do something about it. If you're afraid for your kids, you fucking do something about it. If you're gonna use and abuse your kids as an excuse to hide from, well, your own stupidity, your own ignorance, your own hatred, your own bias, you're gonna use your children and your blonde-haired, blue-eyed purtiness. That's right, being a female with children makes you even 10 times more the victim, which means that you can victimize 10 times more people before anybody gives a shit. It means you can manipulate 10 times as many people before anyone gives a shit. It means you can get away with 10 times as much simply because of your age, your gender, and the way you look. Leslie Snell is older than me. She's a fucking crusty old biddy, isn't she? People have been saying I was 42 since I was 36. A 42-year-old man. Jesus fucking Christ, you guys are stupid. Couldn't even get my age right, and you guys want to believe everything that these people tell you. They couldn't even get my age right. So, yeah, tell me how much work these people put in. Tell me how much these people actually tried to research. Oh yeah, they didn't. Imagine that. They didn't try to do any research. God, that makes me a horrible person, doesn't it? I'm a horrible person because they didn't do their research. I should go apologize to the whole world because you guys didn't do your research. And the people that you listen to didn't do their research. They're only interested in one side. And that's the way it's been from the start. Now, for me, having to believe people that really the only thing that we have in common is that we know each other. I don't do the drugs that they do. I don't play the video games that they do. I don't watch the shows that they do. I'm not into the same shit that they're into. Here at the Starbucks, it's not too bad. The garbage isn't too terrible. There's not a lot of people here trying to make things worse. I gotta head to the other end of town, over by the Sinclair, to see if that lady's there yet. I did take about 2 hours to come down here and make sure my stuff had at least a little bit of a charge on it. And, you know, if she'd shown up earlier to help, I might have been able to panhandle. But I gotta understand, if people are going to help me, I have to work around their schedules, their abilities, and if they don't make it, they don't make it. That's not my fault. But also, if you don't make it, I'm going to be victimized further, and it's going to continue until you actually step up and do what you said you were going to do. And I'm going to have severe panic attacks and anxiety attacks because I know that through all this time, all of my anxiety and panic attacks are over the loss of evidence, over trying to get this evidence seen before it's lost or stolen or the statute of limitations is over. The only thing that prevents the statute of limitations from being over in my situation is that I am an at-risk adult and this abuse is ongoing. These same officers, by name, repeatedly have committed these crimes not only against me, but also against others. We have shown an established pattern of police violence against the homeless, against the disabled, and against males in specific. Those are the three top groups for being abused by the American people. Those are the three top groups most likely to be victimized as adults, sexually, physically, mentally, and of course, financially. We're the ones that are held responsible for everything because we're the easiest ones to get away with blaming it on. There's these laws that are supposed to make it illegal to do these things to somebody who's disabled. But then there's a whole nother set of laws that makes it magically legal if you use the term mentally ill instead of disabled. If you are mentally ill, you are disabled. That is as simple as it is. You are disabled and you are entitled to the rights of a disabled person. If you are autistic, you are entitled to the rights of someone who is developmentally disabled, and that includes having an advocate, having one appointed to you. If you have a family, they'll help you to get one of those. If you don't have a family, you end up with people like Megan Mesigadis. You end up with someone with like Kara Rogers or Kara Johnson, aka Kara Johnson Miles. For all these people, the reason that it didn't work is because they didn't try. They wanted to tell me that it wasn't going to work, and that was their excuse for never putting any effort forwards. Claiming that they would do things, and months and months and months later, they've still done nothing. They want to pretend like, oh, well, you know, since I haven't done anything for 7 months, that means that you're fine. Everything is fine, and I don't need to come forward now because it's been 7 months, like Miss Peaches wanted to play. She also wanted to pretend, after she knew that I had to threaten the President of the United States and I had lit a fire. Yeah, I drove to where she worked and I let her know. I let her know, hey, this is the shit I have had to do, all right? I can't just wait on you and Mandy Hughes to fucking eventually what? Fucking lie out your asses at me for another 7 months? No, we can't have that. The statute of limitations is almost up. When I was at my dad's, my dad could have given a shit. He could have tried to fucking look at evidence and speak up. All he wanted to do is argue. The only time that my dad gave a holy fuck about what was going on is when it come to his forex.com. All right, so what's this forex.com thing? It's a fucking gambling thing. That's what it is. It's literally gambling. So my dad wanted me to play this gambling game, but not gambling, no money, just pretending. And this is what he wanted me to do while I was there, to play with this forex.com thing. He doesn't even try to understand what it is that I'm going through and that there is a statute of limitations, there is a time limit, and I need his fucking support. But my dad's a fucking bitch-ass piece of shit. Ever since he found out I was autistic at 9 years old, 11 years old, he's treated me like I'm a fucking retard. That's what the American public really thinks of autistic people. They think that we're fucking retards. When people are fucking angry at me and treating me like shit and fucking assaulting me, you make every excuse why I must deserve to be abused. Because I'm a fucking retard. when it comes to going to people for help, most people are not going to help. They're going to do like the situations like today, or with Miss Peaches, or with Mandy Hughes, or with all these other people. They're going to offer to help, but they're going to leave it open-ended. They're not going to set up a time or a date to actually get it fucking done, because if they set up a time and a date to actually get it done, that means they actually have to do something. Whereas if they don't solidify with a time and a date, then it's not their fault. You're the one who's not trying hard enough. And if I try, hey, let's set up a time and a date to do this. Oh, Sean, you got to do that. Well, I got to coordinate with you if you're going to go in with me. Oh, Sean, just set it up. All right. Well, what happened when I set it up? She didn't go in with me. She used her kids as a fucking excuse. Thanks, Miss Peaches, a.k.a. Kayla Trujillo. No, this does not help. Now, Kayla Trujillo, when she found out that she had been recorded and was on my YouTube channel, she was pissed. But that's not the reason we stopped being friends. The reason we stopped being friends is because the person who had let her know was Blaine McCrelius, one of the people who was threatening to kill me after Natalie was killed. One of many people who I had never harmed, never done any wrong to. One of hundreds of people that I knew who threw me away like I was trash, didn't bother to find out what was going on, didn't even try. Many, many people who wanted to tell me how to think and how to feel, but didn't want to take the time to find out what was going on. Anyway, I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to drive over there, and hopefully, now that it's cooling off, they'll show up. Maybe we'll get lucky and Rudy will be out of jail. That'd be nice. There's a lady who's down there cleaning it up. She doesn't do as good of a job, but she's also got 2 other jobs that she's working, plus she's homeless, which means she has to walk everywhere. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time. For you guys, plugging in your phone is a matter of, oh, I'm going to bed for the night, I'll just plug my phone in. Or you're at your cubicle at work, you can just plug it in right there. Or, of course, you're working at the cash register, you got to plug in behind the counter, you can plug in your phone while you're at work and charge it. You don't pay any attention to the fact that you're lucky you get to work. You're lucky you're in good health to work. And then you want to victimize those of us who are too fucked up to work. Like we're bad people because we're not capable of doing what you want when you want it. Well, we're not bad people for that. You're bad people for expecting it, for victimizing us for something that you already know we can't do. We can't do those things, and you victimize us because of it. You tell us, oh, you're adults, so you should be able to. No, absolutely not. If you ask somebody with a broken back to jump hurdles before they're 18, turning 18 doesn't magically make them capable of jumping those fucking hurdles, asshole. I suppose. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper. No victim left behind.